Wow.
Woohoo, yeah.
Johnny. Will here, Savage North Fishing. I'm going to go over some of the tips that I can give you for trolling for salmon, the way that I do it and the way that I learned from the experts here in Alaska. What my favorite thing to use, there's a million ways to do this, you know, to hook up herring. There's cut plug herring, whole herring, all kinds of things. My favorite is just using the herring heads. My favorite kinds right here, this is the oh yeah, the anchovy special right here. So that's the small one, and you want to use the size that you're using for. The smaller bait, you know, like this size right here is my favorite, and this one fits these perfectly. If you're going to use the bigger herring, you know, like the green label right here, which is great. If you're fishing for larger king salmon, these will fit the heads a lot better right here. So you want to have a selection of both. This is my favorite way to keep these. Keeps them organized because they can get tangled in a lot of ways. You definitely don't want to keep this in a place where you're going to get salt water on them, because if you get salt water in this sponge, and this is just a pipe insulation from hardware stores, super cheap, but if you get any salt on this, they're all going to be salt, and this is a lot of work, so you don't want to waste that. Keep them somewhere where it's dry and away from the salt and the water, and just bring what you need. Maybe put them in a Ziploc, or keep them inside your boat somewhere where it's not going to get wet. So let's talk about the smaller one first. So this one, it's pretty simple. Come look right here. There's a pin right here that'll just pin the head. It's great. So let me grab actually one of these right here. So this was a chrome one, and I don't use the chrome ones very often, but for this, that's what I'm going to show you. And you notice this end doesn't have a clip because the flashers that I use always have a clip on one end, so you don't need a clip, you just need a terminal end. So pretty simple. You just, it's like this. Put the head in, push it all the way in, and you want to pin it in the second hole right across like that, where it's in both sides. Okay, and then the line is going to be, I usually put it right in front of the dorsal fin right there, and sink this all the way in and pull it back. These little heads give it the perfect roll in the water. High success rate. Some people put this treble hook closer, some further back. Some people use single hooks. I like the treble hook this size, or maybe a little even smaller, but that's how you hook it up. And then now I'm going to show you how to tie these things. Never trust the pre-tied that you buy in the packages. I can tell you that from experience. Don't ask me how I know. I've lost a lot of salmon just trying to use the pre-tied ones. I've seen them snap. One day we lost probably 4 or 5 kings from pre-tied leaders. That was the last time I used a pre-tied leader. So we're going to tie one up real quick here and show you how I do it. The way that I do it is a little different than everybody else, and you're going to need pliers, because when you're trolling out in the salt water, those fish are not line shy. They're not afraid of heavy leader. You could use a rope just about, but you know, don't. I use 80-pound. Yep, you heard me right. 80-pound fluorocarbon. That's heavier than anybody I know. But when you're out there and in Alaska, you're trolling like nowhere else, it's not uncommon to hook an 80-pound halibut when trolling. And you don't want to be trolling with that 30-pound light leader when you get an 80-pound halibut. Also, there's 50-pound lingcod swimming around there that bite these all the time. The video, look at you guys, yeah! Oh, look at this thing. They'll bite the flasher, boom, more than they do the leader, and they hold on, and then their mouth slides right down the leader, and you got them in the mouth. If you got light line, that's gonna break that line, just or close to it. That happens a lot. So I use 80-pound fluorocarbon. The downside of that is very hard to tie. It's not very easy because it's hard to work with. That's why you're gonna need pliers. Hooks, I use Gamakatsu number 2. That's what I use for these, for both sizes, for the larger head and the smaller one, the same. So pull one of these out. You need one of these, and let's tie this one, the larger size. So there's a couple places that you can put it through. You can put it through the top and through the nose, right through the middle. The top is going to give it a faster spin. I generally go through the middle one and do pretty darn good. This is pretty easy. And then you just slide it through this back part right here, like that. And the first thing you do is you tie the back side first. Regular fishing knot is fine. Like I said, this is a little difficult with 80-pound mono. And my hand's pretty numb from an accident I had recently, so I'm not as good at tying as I used to be. 1, 2, 3. Through here. Back through. Now I grab it with my mouth. Hold it tight. Pull some tension on here. And go through. You're not going to get it all the way. And you're going to get a little bit wet, so put a little bit of saliva on there. Hold it tight, like that. Don't let this wrap around the eye too much. Okay? You're going to grab pliers, hold it tight, and you got to pull. Wrap it a couple times and pull that thing tight. Like I said, you got to be careful it goes around the eye. Here. Pull it back, like this. It's not smooth sometimes because it's such heavy leader. Okay, got it. Pull it till, see it, that lot turned over. That's good. That's 80-pound test, and you're not going to lose any salmon with that line. Okay, there you go. Now we're going to pull off, say, 4 feet. For kings, I like to use about 4 feet. Okay. In the ocean, maybe 4 to 5 feet. For silvers, I learned this recently, you want to use shorter leader because it's going to, the longer leader you have, the less action it's going to have. It's going to be a little slower behind this flasher. If you have a short leader, like literally 2 feet, it's going to move a lot faster as this 360 flasher spins, rolls. And I learned that from a guide in Oregon, and we caught more fish than anybody. And I looked at the leader, and I saw that it was only about 2 feet, 2.5 feet. And I said, "Why is your leader so short?" He said, "I learned it." And with silvers, you catch more that way. So that's a new thing to me, but that's what I've been using. So, okay, so I'm gonna put it about 4 feet right now. Here, clip it, and we're gonna tie the other end with a quality stainless terminal. Okay, and don't use cheap tackle. It's not worth it. And the thing about this setup that I'm telling you is it lasts a long time. It'll withstand a beating for a long time, as long as you rinse it off with fresh water and dry it. It'll last a lot longer because this line is so tough. I know a lot of you guys like to use light line and play the fish out carefully, but out here in Alaska, you gotta know that there's other big fish out there, bigger than what you're fishing for. Okay, there we go, same thing. Pliers again, and that's it. So same kind of thing. You know, you're gonna use a bigger herring for this head, but you pin it the same way, and you're gonna put it the same way right behind the dorsal fin. It's gonna be on the same side. So you don't ever want to put it over to the other side of the herring, the bait. It's gonna be on the same side as the line. That's how you do that. Now I'm going to talk about colors a little bit. So the colors, both with the flasher flashers and with the heads. You want to make your selection depending on how deep you're fishing for, what you're fishing for. If you're fishing for silvers and it's not that deep, like say, 40 feet, 50 feet, that's when I would use one of these chrome ones right here, because there's going to be sunlight at that depth and it's going to flash. As you get deeper, the light disappears and the colors disappear. So as you go down in the water column, different colors last. Red disappears first. 15 feet, red's gone at 15 feet. So red really is not a good color to use deep. It's gone, it just disappears. Yellow disappears next. I think green holds on to about 80 feet. The best one is blue or ultraviolet, which is what I like about this flasher right here. And I fish deep, like 120, 140 feet, or even deeper sometimes. You want to use ultraviolet or glow when you're that deep. So far I haven't been able to find any good crippled heads like this that are ultraviolet, but the flasher will do it. And you want to use a glow when you get deeper, like this white glow, green glow. 90 feet is probably the most common that people fish with, and so green is really good. Old-time fishermen told me when you're trolling for kings, you can use any color you want as long as it's green. A lot of green stuff here, as you notice. Flashers, like I said, I don't have my favorite flasher here. I think it's not here, but it looks a lot like this one, but instead of this chrome, it's white. A white glow is really good. You can find one like this with a white glow, and this has the ultraviolet on the other side, or just plain ultraviolet for deep. If you're fishing shallow, you want to have this red, green colors like this, and chrome if you're fishing shallow, like 40, 50 feet, for silvers or pinks or chums like that. Specifically kings, this is a great size, but a lot of the best trolling fishermen I know use these right here for kings also, and doing great. So right there. Anyway, hope that helps.